Love you how I gave that quick. You ready? 5 seconds, walk in the door. Okay, here we go. It's a good thing that you're always prepared. What are we talking about today?
Actually, I have
stuff.
Dang you.
Oh, man.
I'm wasting my time trying to come up with topics for this thing.
You know, I always come up with cool things based on your conversations that you have on Magic the day prior.
Jeez.
No. I didn't even listen. Well, maybe I did, because I have a jealousy thing about it. But,
I know, huh?
Joining me is Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency. Good morning to you, brother.
Good morning.
So, yes, I wasn't here yesterday, so there was some bad singing on behalf of Mike Plow and Turtle. So I've had to apologize to numerous people about that. But I got to thinking, as time goes by, we think unusual things as we get older. And it's really a way to keep ourselves safe. It's a way to keep ourselves from being broke when we're like 90. This is one of the main reasons why we have insurance.
Right.
If I want to get together a couple of friends and have a party for Halloween at my house, and I'm talking about like a block party, invite the neighbors, invite whoever, should I go out and buy like some kind of event or additional coverage for having a party at my house? Say somebody gets drunk, falls down my stairs, that would then fall back on, if I was a homeowner, that would fall under my homeowner's policy.
Correct.
But I don't own a home. I'm a renter. Renter's insurance doesn't cover that kind of stuff.
Yes, it would.
Oh, okay.
If they're there because of you and it's your negligence that caused them to fall, otherwise it would be on your landlord. Now, I don't know why you would have a block party for Halloween if you're in an apartment. That might be a little tight quarters. No lawn to play on.
I like to party.
But no, I mean, event coverage is available when you're having events that maybe you will be selling alcohol, like maybe having a bartender or having a wedding reception.
Okay, go bigger.
Go
bigger.
Yeah.
Beer tent. My friends, the Chrismans.
Yeah.
They own the Whiskey Den. They have a beer tent at the Caledonia County Fair.
Sure.
The fair covered under their umbrella, or do they buy a separate entity of insurance just in case?
So the beer tent would have to have their very own insurance.
Okay.
So they'd have to have what we call a liquor liability policy as well as a general liability policy.
They're there for the week. Each day, maybe 1,000 people go through that beer tent. The value of that is to recoup any loss. Maybe because we've had tent issues here in the past. Maybe somebody falls over, cracks their head. What does that run? Is that wicked expensive to put on an event like that?
It can be. It's going to be more expensive than you would think, but when you start comparing it to what the gross receipts are coming in, it's probably comparable.
Okay.
But you
I want a ballpark dollar. Like $1,000 a day. Not
a day. No, I mean you might look at $1,000 or so for
the
week.
entire event for the week. Okay.
Yeah. But for the Christmas, in this case, it's right. You just mentioned they own the Whiskey Den. It's possible. I mean, some of those policies that insure the bars, they can do off-premise events as well for a little more money.
Gotcha.
So,
ATVs and horses. If I have ATVs and horses on my property, I'm just a renter, but I'm thinking big.
I don't ever want to be your landlord.
Well,
Honey, I gotta go outside and milk the cows.
Could you do me a favor and take care of my emotional support kimono dragon? He likes to lick things. That's not licking.
Got the skunk in there too.
Yeah.
It smells fantastic.
So no, I mean I'm not that weird of a tenant. I think of things.
I'm nervous now.
So I inherit a couple horses and ATVs. I bring them up to the second floor because I live on the second floor. It's hard to coax them. You got to put a little carrot on a string in front of their face. But all of a sudden my horse kicks through the wall. Is there additional coverage that you must purchase when you're getting? Because I know that there's certain dogs that you cannot have under homeowners insurance. I'm assuming renter's insurance is probably the same situation.
Yeah.
Animals that are larger. If you have a farm, you would then move on to a different type of?
Yes.
You would.
So now I see where you're going. And it makes sense now. I'm thinking.
I do make sense if you
third
just
floor
listen.
ATVs and horses. That's what I'm thinking.
Party house
and a Halloween block party. It's
in August.
That's got to be a country song somewhere.
You're not invited.
I had a feeling. But
my wife came up with a very interesting thought the other day before I lose my train. She said now that they are autonomizing trucks, Well, they start to write country songs about the dog left, the wife left, and the truck drove itself away.
So why am I here?
To go to Shawn's
That's the name of the song,
Halloween
too.
block party.
Why am I here? So let's talk about the animals real quickly here. So
Yes.
with animals like horses, now you're talking livestock. And a lot of people have livestock of some sort. They have chickens, they have birds, they have horses, they have cows, they have goats, they have sheep. Every company looks at it a little bit differently.
Spend some extra time with a sheep, they label you for life.
Moving on. Not touching it because I have a lot of good funny things in my head that I'm just moving on. But so livestock count is pretty vital. So I got one company that says, look, once you've exceeded 4 head of livestock, so you got more than 4 cows or a combination thereof of 4 cows and horses, now you are no longer
cow, daughter,
ducks, geese, and chickens don't count as a head of livestock individually.
Oh, that's foul.
Yeah. I can't keep a thought this morning. You were just punchy. So anyway, once you have over 4, then you have to be in a mini farm policy or a farm policy because the liability exposure of owning those animals exceeds the threshold of a homeowner policy with this one particular company, which is cooperative insurance. I have other companies that will allow you to have 1 or 2. I got some companies that say the second you have any, you're no longer allowed to have coverage. You need to find someone else. So,
I always wondered why people either had like 2 or like a lot. And now it boils down to there is some common like insurance thinking there.
Well, you think about it. So I hate to use this example because it's a real story that happened many years ago. But
I can't
an ATV,
fit more than 2 horses and 2 ATVs on my second floor.
How wide is the stairway? ATV and a horse. There was a youngster riding an ATV, and a horse had broken free from the fencing, and sadly, the youngster on the ATV hit the horse. Horrific injuries as a result. Whose fault would that be? Well, the horse is no longer where it's supposed to be, so really the liability would lay onto the owner of that horse, and that's why you need to have proper coverage as a owner of livestock for that liability, because there's additional liability that comes from having it. So
interesting.
I can't believe I actually got a full thought out.
I'm here for you. If you want to talk.
I'm going to go get me an emotional support. Trying to think of what I need.
There's some emotional support things down in the corner in St. John's.
I'm going to go get an emotional support sloth.
Yeah, well, I can do that for you.
It's going to take me 14 hours to get to work now.
Zootopia. You got to watch that movie if you've never seen it. All the people that work at DMV are sloths. Yeah. How fitting. If you'd like to find out about my party or getting insurance, maybe you want more than 4 head of cattle at your party, you can call Mike Barrett at Barrett Insurance Agency by buzzing up
748-5224. Visit our website, thebarrettagency.com, or on Google, Facebook, and YouTube as Barrett Insurance Agency.
It amazes me how we can waste 10 minutes talking about absolutely nothing.
I know.
And we'll do it again next Wednesday.
Can't wait.